Welcome once again to Unmasking the Man. I hope that throughout this series you have been benefiting from the immense, it's been overwhelming for me, if you ask me, in terms of knowledge, experiences that have been shared here just to help us as men become better and do better. And so today is no different. We are talking about what you would call, locally here, we refer to it as Ben 10, the Ben 10 syndrome. And Ben 10 is basically a phenomenon where younger men engage in intimate romantic relationships with older women, oftentimes with financial support for the younger men and sexual fulfillment for the older women. And in this episode, we explore the dynamics, motivations, and even implications of such relationships, aiming to shed light on the complexities and societal perceptions surrounding this phenomenon. So once again, welcome to the Unmasking the Man. And with me, as usual, my resident panelists, I have Levi Kones and Ray Kesis. Karibuni sana.
Asante sana. Thank you so much.
How has been the experience so far?
Excellent.
In one word, excellent.
We are unmasking the man.
Unmasking the Man. So I'm delighted because today it's a little different. We're actually joined by more men on set.
Yes.
And so we want to shine a spotlight on our new entrant.
Yes. To unmask the man.
To unmask. we hope to unmask you.
Thank you.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And we are so glad that now we are full house.
Thank you.
So I'll actually allow you to introduce yourselves, but of course, by mentioning of name, I have Davis and I have, let me not mention the titles, just one first name, Davis and Odero. Please introduce yourselves better than that.
Thank you so much. Odero Gilbert is my name. I'm glad to be on this very platform of Unmasking the Man. I'm tempted to want to know what is this you've done in the previous episodes. But I want to thank God because I'm here. And I want to believe we'll walk down the lane together to know exactly why is this man masked primarily.
Right.
So that we can unmask him together and get to know the real man.
Sure.
Thank you so much for welcoming me on board. Actually, when I was asked to come and contribute in this program of Unmasking the Man, actually the question that came to my mind is, have I unmasked myself? That is the question that kept on ringing in my mind.
Yeah.
I almost declined the request, but I'm glad that I've come to join my colleagues so that we can unmask the man together.
And if we are masked, we unmask ourselves in the
Yeah, we
process.
unmask ourselves in case we are unmasked ourselves.
Karibuni sana, gentlemen. And of course, if it's your first time and you're wondering why I'm not saying much about these two gentlemen, let me give them a moment as well to just say a few words about themselves, and then we proceed with our topic for today.
Right, my name is Levi. You can call me Levi, depending on where you went to school and your upbringing. My last name is Kones. And you want an introduction, or you wanted us to talk about?
Introduce yourself and then leave it at that.
Leave it at that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I am a husband to one beautiful wife, a father of 3 amazing daughters, and I'm a journalist by profession, TV producer actually, and I'm also an author. Very, very glad to be here to participate in this conversation.
Welcome, Levi.
Thank you so much. My name is Kesis. I'm a man from the beginning to the present time. And I've enjoyed being a man. Consequently, I'm a husband, a father, because of being a man. The roles I play in society is that I teach people, I preach, I evangelize the world. I do pastoral roles. Yeah, those are my assignments, but there are many other things I do.
Yeah.
But these of interest to me today is to unmask the man.
Beautiful, beautiful. And talking of assignments and roles that you have, performed and you continue to, the spotlight today is on these two gentlemen, Davis and Pastor Gilbert. And let me start with you, Davis, because you are coming from a point of let me say, because you've been a university student leader,
Sure.
and we are talking today about something that I think affects a lot of university students.
Sure.
So I'll be coming to you to get your perspective and experience as to how deep and deeply entrenched that phenomenon of Ben 10 is, at least from your association,
Sure.
and then see how much we can be able to learn from you. But in the meantime, I want to bring in Levi. Just by the mention of this, what comes to your mind?
A dysfunctional society.
A dysfunctional one.
Yeah, this is not what was the intent. You know, the Bible talks about. I forget which verse, but in the book of Songs, which people don't read so often, it talks about having pleasure in the wife of your youth. Of your youth, you know, and it was not God's intention for this to be the way it is. You know, the stories are replicated in the Bible of people looking for wives, and they're always looking for people who are, are younger than them in their generational space. But lately, this has taken root, and there are a number of reasons why it has taken root. But what comes to my mind immediately, is that the world is dysfunctional.
Wow. And Pastor Kesis, you have been interacting very closely with university students yourself. Not to say that this is a university problem, but we are referring mostly to university because of the age, bracket within which they fall. What have you witnessed in regards to this particular episode? Is it an issue worth talking about, or we are just blowing hot air here?
It's worth talking about because it has implications that standards have been lost. When you live in a society that in a previous episode, we talked about changing goalposts.
Yeah.
When a goalpost changes, that means there is no standard. And I think that's what we seek to do, to say that there is a man God created, but circumstances and the environment have kept masking the man, so that everyone is after the mask, thinking it's the man. Now, this is a new mask. In traditional society, there should be immense respect between a boy and a mother-like person. Immense respect, so that they will not even come close to each other. But for them to come close, that means that standard has been lost. But you see, it's not only that standard that has been lost. Many other standards have been lost, including the standard of who a man is, the definition of who a man is, the definition of who a sexual partner should be. So when you lose all that, you have lost standard. So when we live in a society where we say, no, we don't need standards, sometimes we say in the world of ethics is that, should we be relative or absolute? Absolute in the sense that there is no way around the rule. It must be kept.
Yeah.
But the present generation says, my brother Justus, that being absolute is being a cake. You're supposed to be relative. I mean, it's okay. It may be, maybe not, Love is okay. You can love anyone. You can love the one you want. Now, when you drop the standards, then it is now possible for a man younger than the son of that mother to get into a sexual relationship with that mother. And then now we give it a good name, Ben 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a small hero for the mother. It is because we have destroyed standards. That's where it is.
Wow. Pastor Gilbert, I want to draw you in because you are a mentor.
You're right.
By profession.
You're right.
For young people. Where did the rain start beating us? Are you not doing your job?
Wow.
What are you inspiring these young people towards?
I want to believe the rain started falling on us immediately we sinned in Eden. And with the time, things are changing. And you realize we are moving from bad to worse. The truth is, when we're talking about standards, the way our pastor has mentioned, it's key that we are living in a world of relativism. I don't know whether to blame education for it or not, because everybody is saying it depends on how you look at it. It depends on where you come from. And this is disorienting us because we've missed the core values of life. and we feel you can't be concrete, you can't be absolute. We are all different, so we're all allowed to live differently.
Yeah.
But then we forget to remember that you can't be an island. You must fit in a society. So the challenge we are going through is many times our young people, when through my mentorship I realize it's like the Rwandan easy way. That is an easy way. Chances are they've been hurt in their peer relations. Chances are they have crazy upbringing. Chances are the economy is getting tricky. And they feel an easy way out of this. So they have lost the identity of man, because the dignity of the identity of man is key. Man is a head, is a leader, is a provider. And they feel it's like this overwhelming for them, so they want an easy way out.
Right.
And that's why you realize the Ben 10 idea is here with us. Wow. And I'm even struggling with a case now, a real case of a person I know. I've known the lady for more than 10 years. But the young man from Norway is... Wow. Then we are wondering how best, but we are trusting God and counseling. And I want to believe by God's grace we'll be there. But all we are saying is the identity has been lost of a man.
You've shared quite a number of motivations that could explain, why we are finding ourselves in this kind of scenario. Perhaps let me bring you in, Davis, and share your own experience having interacted up close with many students at the university as a student leader. Paint us the picture in terms of what exactly is happening. Maybe we are just here talking about things we don't understand.
Actually, I won't say that you're talking about things that you don't understand, but I've been thinking about it because we have the notion that it's mostly happening in campus, which I think is not the case, because I've been in the campus sphere, I've been in out of campus, and actually for like the campus men, it's not easy for them to come into contact with these elder women. It's not that easy. It's they don't have that much of contact with them. But I can say that it gets more rampant actually after campus.
Okay.
When now you see this young man has gone to the office, working somewhere.
When responsibilities...
Yeah, when responsibilities strike in. In camp, I'm not ruling out the campus case.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying, I'm saying it's not as much as when this young man has gotten out of campus, trying to make ends meet in life, actually trying to look for a job. Some are married, yeah, some get married, but still this thing keeps on following them. You find elder women approaching them, trying to have relationships with them. And I'll say mostly it's because of this man wants to make ends meet, and they don't want to struggle. Maybe they're getting ladies who are more established, and these ladies are coming with big offers. They're telling them that they can sort out their rent issues, they can sort out their financial challenges.
Yeah.
And actually they're coming with a lot of goodies.
But I just want to perhaps draw your experience, Levi. This is up close and personal.
Said experience.
What experience are you talking? Exactly, yeah.
Experience.
I'm curious to hear the next question. What experience are you looking for here?
Now that we are
Even
using
the
the word
viewers are wondering,
experience
this
to
is-
hide behind everything.
It needs to come out clean.
Yeah.
Experience or lack thereof. If at any point, growing up or as a young man, you've been exposed to these kind of advances from older women, and how did you handle that? And what did you think was their motivation in even making such attempts?
I went to college in the US. And when I went to the US, I was 21 years old. And at that point in time, I'd come from a very sheltered background lifestyle. And to be honest, in my home, I did not know. I didn't come from those homes where anything went, so I did not know much about life. And I was exposed to certain things were thrust in my face, real quick, real hard. The first is I did have a lady who was then 37 try to tell me, let's get into a relationship, which I found very, very strange. I was only 21 years old, you know, and a 37-year-old mama was willing to be
Just like your mother.
yeah, was willing to be with me.
Yeah.
And what I found in the societal nature then at that point in America was that we had a lot of Kenyans who went to the US and were looking for green cards and would be okay with getting into liaisons with Americans of any age, so long as they could get the green card, you know, and stay in that country. And that, by the way, has not changed to date. Imagine back in the day, if you were a married person and you showed people your ring, it would be, somebody would say, that one is so, that one is so and so's wife.
Right.
As he's rightfully put it. Nowadays, some people even think the ring is an attractive thing to have. Like, oh my goodness, that must be a very responsible guy. Let's get with him. But the ring lost its value because of us losing our values. Some women are dating younger men because some men stepped out of marriage. Yeah, and didn't operate within the confines. And it's surprising because up to date, if you look at aeroplanes, for example, the standard of the aeroplane has never changed. The way it's made, the way it flies, if you change the standard, you crash.
Beautiful.
The standard of cooking food has never changed. Yeah.
I'm coming to you.
You're right.
Yes, but I just want to ask Pastor Kesis here. I have forgotten what I wanted to ask you. Come in. Let me hear you. That happens.
Money at the center of it all. Allow me to re-echo that. Now, on the one end, money. Who is looking for money? The young man. Women have the money. The question that begs an answer, can't men have their money? Can't they work to earn their money? What are women looking for in this relationship? They're looking for satisfaction. Chances are they're missing it somewhere. So they're using young men as toys just to have fun, to satisfy themselves. If anything, older women have nothing to lose. You realize there are women who even have their kids and they have finished their family. They are not thinking of giving birth. So they're just having fun. So they have nothing to lose. What about these young men who are in the relationship? Are you looking for children? Do you want a family? Or just having fun? So what is your motivation into this, apart from money? Do you have a future? Now, if we're talking about Ben 10s now, possibly 5 years from now, what will we be talking about? Will we have a generation? Because if all our young men are getting that direction.
There's good news, not all, because there are not very many rich women. So
Thank you. Not all. But you see, the influence is getting so high.
Yes,
That's why we are here today to talk about unmasking the man and saying, just a minute, let's get back to the track.
Yes.
Because if this continues, then it'll be acceptable, it'll be the norm.
Yeah.
And I want to believe it won't be long. We'll be having agitations that our rights, Ben 10s will be seated and saying, guys, this is how things are done.
Yeah.
Because that's the direction the world is heading to. The way homosexuals go their way, lesbians go their way. Now the Ben 10s are coming on board. Now we must just put our feet on the ground and say, no. Let's unmask the man and say, who is a man? What did God intend when he made a man?
Good.
no,
Pastor, you will forget what you want to say if I ask.
you keep your question.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
I think at the center of it is not money.
All right.
It's a wrong man.
You're right.
You see, the ladies, this older woman has a husband who probably has failed her. So because the husband has failed her and she has tried maybe working on this husband and the husband has failed, she gives up. So she looks for a man she can control. And a Ben 10 can be controlled using money. And so she remains top of the game. Now, in God's structure, the woman was not at that place.
Yeah.
I think that is failure number one. Number two, this woman could be looking for sexual satisfaction. That means she has looked around at her age mates and husband and equal. There is no sexual satisfaction. What happened to these men that they are not sexually satisfying the woman? So it is possible these men in their earlier years maybe ran around with the prostitutes or were masturbating or doing whatever. Now, when they are expected to perform, they can no longer perform sexually. So these older women who have money have concluded that even if I try among my age mates here, There is nothing. Where there is sexual prowess is to go down where they are still younger, before alcohol destroys them, before drugs destroy them. Let me go for the younger. Again, at that point is the failure of the man. Now we will ask, why did the man fail to end up in drugs and alcohol? Why did the man fail to end up in prostitution and masturbation? Again, it comes to the man.
And now even that pressure piles up on the man, because if the expectation of this particular woman case study is to gain sexual satisfaction from this younger man, and as you said, there are other factors at play, issues of drugs and all that kind of thing. So men, even these younger men, are now not as good as these women expect them to be. And this takes them into the other space. We were talking about this briefly on the other episode, where now you have men trying to use, to take pills that can enhance their sexual prowess and performance. And this is also creating a different problem altogether.
It's because the society set a standard. And this society said you are only a man if you can satisfy your woman sexually. And so the men are working hard to satisfy. But what is this called satisfaction? It is permanently elusive. Is it 1 hour? Is it 3 hours? So the man figures out, every time he tries, he's told, nah,
Not yet.
you tried.
yet.
You almost. So then the men go into their circle and they are told there is a blue pill.
Yes.
If you take this pill,
And you're good to go.
you will succeed. Now they are dying in the line of duty.
Yeah.
And instead of us condemning wherever it came from, we are cheering them, saying, he died on duty. It's a man, he's died on duty. We are enhancing the same madness.
I was just going to say, the subject matter of sex has to be really talked about, because for a long time it's been men going fishing, at younger ages, and some of them say they are rediscovering their virility and all that. I think one of the things that has to be talked about for those couples that are in the marriage context is there's too much emphasis on sex being the relationship instead of the relationship then culminates in the sex. Sex was supposed to be an act in the relationship,
Not the object.
not the thing, not the end all in all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's you cannot lay enough emphasis as men now who those of us who have been married, for example, that when you're in a good place with your wife and you're having good communication and everything is working out well, the bedroom is tick. If you lose these other things, the bedroom is the first thing to fall away.
Yeah.
And people don't want to talk about their relationship and trying to get together as a couple, trying to get, to bond, to have those good conversations between each other, to be in unison, because this is a culmination of your spirits. That's where I think the whole concept has gone wrong. So you go looking and, bonding with funny spirits out there with as a result of looking for sex first, and you get into problems.
A lot of questions, Era, and indeed so much really to be able to discuss within such a short time. But I just want to bring this conversation to a close. And there's one thing that I want you, Pastor, as we finish to really highlight. And Levi somehow touched to it. And this is more than just the physical, the spiritual, connection and the sanctity of things. What is at stake here? We might talk about this thing as just sexual intercourse and that kind of thing, but I feel it's deeper than that. What is the damage that these kind of relationships are having on our lives?
The damage is that, number one, this Ben 10, when he is of age, he will not be able to satisfy or meet the expectations of a man of his age. And so if it is rampant in society, that means that the women of his age also will have to look for younger men. I look at a Ben 10 problem in several ways. There is the sex problem that the women are looking for. And there is also the fact that these women are refusing a structure that God provided where the husband is the head of the family. So they are looking for men they can control who are younger. But I'm also looking at a third perspective of greed, where a young man of 21 wants quick money.
Yeah.
Why? Because in a home where one child has a degree and is looking for a job, and another one dropped in standard 8 and has money, the family will give a lot of respect to the one who has money. And so over time, quickly, everyone looks around and discovers what gains you respect in our circles is the money. It doesn't matter how you get it. So if some old woman, by breaking all rules of scripture and breaking all rules of society, I will get the money and get respect from my parents, from my relatives. And so you get that this is what somebody will say, the soul of the society is gone.
Yeah.
And then spiritually, we are gone because now greed has become our God.
Wow. End the show for us in 30 seconds. What is your takeaway?
I think my takeaway is that there's a lot of work that needs to be done on not only this particular topic, but on raising men. You know, in other episodes, we have spoken about how we need to talk to men a little bit earlier. He has alluded to it, Gilbert. You know, this game is not changed upstream. We have to go downstream.
Right.
You know, and sorry, it's not changed downstream. You have to go upstream
At the source.
and change the game there. Before these boys get to 20, we need to teach them how and what it is like to be a man. And we cannot do that if we ourselves are not the examples of what they see. Because the best example you can do is what you do yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to come together as men of our age, look at this thing as a scenario that needs to be, taken by the bulls, the way we have done, by the horns, basically, and then impact and start impacting early. Because the only way we are going to change a generation is by changing the young people. They are the biggest carriers of generations.
Wow. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I believe this is the beginning of that conversation. What we've had today was just to, just a scratch on the surface. But really, it goes a long way in inspiring even further conversations beyond these particular confines. So thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to engaging more with you on Unmasking the Man. And so thank you as well for having kept it here and for watching to the end. I hope that this has been inspirational and it's something that you can learn a lesson on too. See you again in the next episode of Unmasking the Man.